Hey everybody, this week's video I'm going to show you some quick stretches, some mobility work for both the adductors and the abductors of the hip. To start out with, we're going to stretch the adductors. You're going to get down on one knee. You're going to get that other leg extended out as far as you can in an upright position. Okay? And it's important that you keep that ankle locked, okay? And don't let that foot roll in here. Okay? Keep that foot flat. Alright, the other thing that's important is as I go down into this stretch, that I keep a nice neutral spine. Okay? If I roll up at that spine, I lose the stiffness that I need to create leverage in that stretch. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is drop down to my hands, keep my spine neutral, my head isn't jacked up like this. Okay, we want to keep that cervical spine neutral as well. Okay, and all I'm going to do is kind of pulse back into that stretch and hold, 2, 1, back up, back and hold, 2, back up, and then I'm just going to change the plane of that stretch just a little bit. I'll come to the inside, so I go from about 12 o'clock to 10 o'clock. I'm just going to come back, hold, 2, back up, and back, hold, and good. The second one, Josh, why don't you come here for a second? Josh is going to go down onto his back. He's going to lay back. Feet are going to come out a little wider than his hips are. Okay, about here. Okay, and now we're going to work the abductors with some of those external rotators of the hip. I'm going to have him push his knees in. Go ahead, Josh, push your knees in. So he's actively stretching these external rotators of the hip. He's going to release in and hold about 5 seconds or so. Hold. Release. I want to make sure that he doesn't hyperextend, okay? When he does that stretch, sometimes that'll happen. We want to keep our diaphragm up and the belly pulled in, okay? Keep those shoulders flat. You can even lay his hands down here, okay? And make sure that he's really flat across the top. To make it just a little bit more intense, we'll go a little wider, and you drive those feet in. Good. And again, he's not going to roll up here. Okay? We're not thinking so much about the knee. Think about taking the pelvis and folding it in half. Okay, so the stretch comes at the hip. He's an in, hold. And as a coach or a training partner, you can give some passive help here and just a little push in. Again, make sure everything stays neutral in the upper body. Push in and hold, relax. Okay, and he's back in. Both of those stretches you could run through, maybe spend 45 seconds in the adductor stretch, another 45 seconds here, and then what I like to do is have them stand up, and now we're going to get some greater range of motion here. We're going to go through some hip mobility, both internal and external rotation of the hip. So Josh has some history with his hip. He had a leg calf Perthes disease as a kid, so his left hip actually lacks some of that good internal and external rotation. So today we squatted. It was very important that before he got into squatting and under load, that we went through some of this good range of motion work beforehand. So go ahead, Josh. Let's go up through your set here. He's going to come out and around and back up. Very simple. I mean, he's just back up, around, back up. Now what I don't want to see, and in the beginning you'll see this a lot, go ahead through it and rotate at the torso. So if he comes back, then all of this moves, we actually lose the range of motion at the hip, and he's compensating here in his torso. So you want a coach to stay square, okay? Go ahead up, through, and let that happen here at the hip as opposed to here. There's still going to be a little bit's going to happen. Again, you got kids that jump from sport to sport, coming from hockey. Now we're moving into spring sports. And there's going to be a lot of those compensations that are happening. So it's important that as you now get back in the gym and you have a little time to work on making them stronger, you also need to focus on some of those inefficiencies and those muscle imbalances that might be created, and just set them up for better performance in all of their strength and conditioning movements. Thanks.